I have no idea if this is working. No, okay, wait. Come on. Come on, show me on here. Oh. What do you mean something went wrong? Okay. Okay, it says I'm live, but where's my video? Wait, you can see me, Anna? Okay. You can see me. Audio's clean. Guys, I'm so sorry. I am learning the ropes of live streaming, and it is not as easy as you would think because I'm trying to use an actual, like, camera to do this and not my laptop camera, and there's a bunch of cords. Something is vaguely working. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. Please, quiet, but yes. Why is it quiet? Why is it quiet? I don't know. I see a... Yes. Oh, you guys, I just want to deliver. Look, I lit a candle because I think it was Glenn said that it was relaxing, and I was like, we're gonna get all relaxed and hang out, and now I'm stressed. So, okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Let me move you over here. Can somebody comment if you can, am I loud enough? I mean, I guess quiet is okay for now if it's actually working. Let's see. Somebody let me know. It's also very delayed because I'm watching myself showing you my candle. Anna, so nice to have you here. Andrew, you made it. Neil, Be Right UK. We can hear you. Okay, if you can hear me singing, we're all good. Please feel free to comment if something goes wrong again. Oh, I feel like I'm doing like a ghost story. Okay, who wants to hear a ghost story? Okay, so I probably shouldn't have this around electrical equipment. This is a candle from, oh, it's actually a sad story, kind of. It's not a sad story, but now it's sad. So, loud enough. Okay. All right, we're getting there. I will not make the mistake again that made me late today because I realized I forgot to plug something in. So, if you watched my video earlier, can confirm I am dumb. This candle is from the Ritz-Carlton Orlando. I don't usually stay here. I got to stay here as a gift. And unfortunately, that is the hotel that the American comedian slash actor Bob Saget just died in. So rest in peace. But I have happier memories from that place. Okay, let's start catching up. Okay, please listen. If I set fire to my hair, I'm gonna need you all to call the fire department because my husband's on a meeting in the other room, so he won't know until the whole house is just in flames. Okay, so my British moan of the week. Please comment yours. Please leave me your moans, your complaints, your whines. What's been going wrong for you this week? Let's get that out of the way. I've now forgotten what I was going to complain about because I'm so flustered from getting this live stream. What was wrong with my week? I mean, I don't think much was wrong. So that was a bad British moan. So I'm gonna leave my British moan as people do not realize how much effort it takes to understand. Oh, Damien's here. Hi, Damien. All of this, I've got so many cords around here. I mean, it's a miracle that anything is working. I've got a cord to plug in the camera so it doesn't have to have a battery. So it's like you plug it in as if it's a battery, but then you plug it into the wall so you don't have to worry about the battery running out. Then I've got a cord from my laptop to the camera, which is somehow like helping my streaming software. Then I've got streaming software in order to go live to you guys on YouTube with a better camera than my laptop. Then I've got multiple monitors and cords in between those. It's a mess. Oh, Anna has a moan, but it ended up being good news. Hit us with whatever's on your mind. Neil says, do you mind my post to that Facebook page? No, Neil, your posts are so good. All of you. I know you guys have been posting in the Facebook group and sharing stuff, and I know people have been loving it. And you guys are really sharing local stuff that, to be honest, I don't know, or just it wouldn't be for me to post. So please continue engaging in the group when you want to, but no pressure. Neil says the weather is too warm. What's the temperature, Neil, up there? Down here, let's see, I'll do this in Celsius. It's currently 2. It's going to be 0 overnight, and then we're going to be up to 6 tomorrow. Is that too warm for January? Andrew says, good news, I got 2 projects working for the first time this week, one of them after 2 years work. You've already skipped the American Optimism. I like it. Congratulations, Andrew. That is awesome. Andrew and Glenn, who I don't know if Glenn has made it. I kind of messed everything up, so I hope everybody got the message in the Patreon. Should I send a message real fast? Because I think Glenn was gonna join. Okay. Maybe he'll see the post. Andrew and Glenn connecting over your engineering stuff in the Patreon group, which was fantastic. Didn't understand a single word of it, but glad you've got each other to talk to about that stuff. Damien says, us English don't moan, we whinge. Ask any Aussie. Okay. Oh, speaking of Australian people, I will talk to you about my American Optimism thing. Should I just leave this here for this week, which has to do with Australians? Okay, Andrew's telling us, I'll wait till you're done typing this story out so I can see. Okay. Anna says, I found out, Neil, it's 12 degrees Celsius in Scotland. Wow, that is too warm. I agree. Anna says, I found out British Airways charges to reserve seats. I feel like most of the airlines do that these days. And that severely threw off our budget. My husband's airline doesn't do that. Yeah, a lot of the international ones have started doing that. But that means we bought our tickets. We're going. Anna, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you guys. So when did you book to come? Tell us everything. It was the spring, right, that you were coming with your son? Let us know. And if you're going to be around London, we have to meet up, obviously. I'll just insert myself into one of your activities without your approval. Okay, so Andrew's telling us, okay, so you said to the big bad boss, I got A working. The boss said, how is B going? You said, I got B working. They said, how is A going? Your job sounds very stressful, Andrew. Especially with the things that, whatever I'm telling him about, he's only ever interested in the other one. Do you in general enjoy your job and have like good coworkers or enjoy your time there? Or is it just very stressful? Because it seems like you do lots of really cool, important things, but I'm stressed out just reading about it. Okay. 12 Celsius in Scotland, Neil. That's bizarre. Damien says, drinking age. When I was 19, I was living in Boston, Massachusetts. Love Boston. I got arrested What? You got arrested twice and even spent the night in the cells. What was your thoughts arriving in the UK? You got arrested twice in Boston? Are you like banned from the US? Drinking age, I don't really drink, so it doesn't apply to me that much, but it does seem probably that being 18 and being able to vote and being an adult and being able to drink and smoke and whatever kind of matches up more than in America where they push it to 21. Most like college age students would still drink just illegally, which creates more problems, and there's obviously a huge drinking culture in the UK consistently all the time, but there's definitely like a binge drinking problem in American colleges because of that. Anna says, April 6th to 16th, it is happening. If you want to meet up, I'll totally bring you Girl Scout cookies. You're on. I will be here. I'm ready. April 8th to 15th. Let's do it. That's really exciting. So all of your questions, bring them to the live chats, because we've got people. I know Andrew's got a lot more, he described it as quirky knowledge of more like unusual, off the beaten path things to do. And everybody else has various specialties or specialities, as my husband would say, another UK versus US difference. Andrew says I absolutely adore my job. Okay, good. I've never enjoyed work more in my life. I've never made as much money in my life, but I'm an engineer, and the big, big, bad boss is a pharmacist, and this causes communication issues. Can totally appreciate that. But that's really good that you love your job. I love my job now that I work for myself and basically write posts all day and like talk to lovely people like Anna to help them plan their trips. But I just took the train into London yesterday for the Back to the Future musical, which I can give you my review of if you're interested. And it just brought back the years that I'm pretty sure none of my ex-coworkers would have signed up for my Patreon. So I don't think Glenn is like my ex-boss disguised as someone named Glenn, because her name wasn't Glenn. I loved my coworkers, but the job itself, I started hating it, and it's not a nice feeling. So to hear anybody that loves their job and what they're doing is really uplifting. Neil says I have the greatest job since I gave up work 3 years ago. Dog walking. My husband would kill to be a dog walker. He is obsessed and is the animal whisperer, and I think that's a potential option of a side hustle for him. Damien is talking about his time in America. The cop was 6'5", just as wide, and had a gun. Very scary. Yeah. Wow. My thoughts on gun culture. I do not agree that people need guns. I think they're stupid. I feel much happier in the UK knowing that most people around me aren't going to have a gun. Anna says, I'm sad we won't be getting to spend more time far from London, but I definitely want to make another UK trip with more fun outside the city. I feel like, a lot of people struggle with that because you only have so much time and there's so much to do in and around London. But hopefully you can come back, and I will update everybody on how my hopeful September group trip to Scotland goes, because hopefully group trips might be in the cards for Girl Gone London. Okay, so let me just oh no, hang on. I just want to make sure. Oh no, we've got more. Okay, everybody talk in the chat for a second. We've got a couple people that, due to my problems, I think have the wrong link. So give me a second. And of course my husband, who does like tech stuff, is always busy during my live streams. Otherwise I would be dragging him in here to sort it out. Okay. Let's see. Let me just message. I know this is riveting. Try this link. Okay, I hope I'm sending the right one. To Dave. I knew Glenn wanted to come. Okay. And then Glenn has posted somewhere in here. I'm here but can't see the message list. Okay, Glenn. Are you here? Let's see. Okay. Earth to Glenn. Glenn, are you here? Glenn says that he's here, but he can't see the chat. Did the chat show up for all of you as normal? Okay. Anna says, we're doing a night at Heathrow Hilton Garden Inn near St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul's Cathedral, great location. Glenn, if you can hear, Glenn, Earth to Glenn. I really want you to be able to join in this chat, and I don't know if I've done something. Dave, did you make it? Earth to Dave, Earth to Glenn. We want you here. It is my fault. I will repent as soon as this is over with my creepy candle. Okay, while we're waiting for them, I would like to tell you my American optimistic thing, aka the positive thing that happened to me this week. And you're gonna judge me, but that's fine. So, there's a channel on, like, we have a Roku. I don't know if you guys have Roku or what you do in terms of watching TV or streaming or anything. But there's a channel called Pluto TV. And Pluto TV basically takes, like, old shows. It doesn't have to be particularly old. It's just kind of like a random, like, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and what I'm now recently obsessed with, which I have never seen an episode for, and had, like, never until now, and I had a completely different perception of it. Are you ready? Baywatch. I know. I was like, so there's a Baywatch channel on Pluto TV, and my husband was like, oh, I used to love Baywatch. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure Baywatch was just like naked women running around on a beach, right? Because that's the joke of, like, everybody is attractive and naked, basically, in Baywatch. So I've never even thought about the show. I just kind of knew it as a stereotype of whatever it was. I watched an episode, I think from season 1, if you know it. You guys, best show ever. Like, yes, the lifeguards are not wearing maybe as much as you actually would to be a lifeguard, but there's drama, there's criminals. Like, I was like, what do you mean criminals? He's like, yeah, there's like a criminal every episode. I'm like, what? I thought this was just like a soap opera of people running around naked on a beach. No, there's David Hasselhoff has a son, and so you've got, like, the family tension, you've got the romantic tension between the lifeguards and whatever, but you've got the drama. The other day we were watching one where an armored car fell into the ocean and 2 people were trapped for the whole episode. Anna says my husband ends up on the Baywatch channel all the time. Okay, yes, I've just discovered it. My husband apparently used to watch it as a kid, and I mean, I'm obsessed. Easy watching. It's Always Sunny. Just amazing. So I've discovered Baywatch, as well as the essentially real life version of Baywatch. There's an Australian. This ties us back to mentioning Australia earlier. There's a YouTube channel that shows a show called Bondi Rescue. Has anybody heard of Bondi Rescue? Because it is basically the Bondi Beach lifeguards in Australia and a reality show about them. So it's like 20 minutes of them, like, saving people from drowning. There's, like, in the last episode I watched at like 2 a.m. last night, a car, this is real life, this is a reality show, like a car drove off the nearest road, like, onto the beach. So anyway, that's what I'm obsessed with this week. Okay, so Glenn, I think you're here, but you're not able to comment, but I don't know whose fault it is. And I because I've messed so much up, it's probably my fault. So if you have any comments, definitely add them in the Patreon, and we'll try again next week. Okay, Anna says he's working from home today. Yes. So when you come to London, we're talking Baywatch, and we're talking all things UK. Andrew says Baywatch is not my kind of thing. I didn't think it was my kind of thing either, but apparently it is. Neil's having M&S fish cakes. Oh yeah, M&S. M&S do really good, like, allergy-friendly options. We have a gluten-free friend, and they shop pretty much exclusively at M&S because of their gluten-free options. Fun fact. Same as beaches aren't your kind of thing. Well, then yeah, Baywatch would be terrible. Beaches haven't necessarily always been my type of thing, which I know is kind of insane growing up in Florida. But I feel like the older I've gotten and the more, like, the longer I've been away from, like, Florida beaches, I miss them more. Talking temperature in Scotland, we use Celsius. Americans use Fahrenheit. Yeah, Damien. So, I still don't speak Celsius, as it were. I mean, everything is on apps now. So I've got the app on my iPhone, and I switch it into Fahrenheit when I want to know the temperature, and when I'm talking telling my husband or his family or somebody what the temperature is, I switch into Celsius, and I know that's lazy, but we get by. I see I have 8 concurrent viewers, so multiple people joining us here. But I just... Dave, are you here? Have you made it? Comment, let us know. And Glenn, I hope that you're enjoying this and don't feel lonely because you can't see the chat. Hopefully that doesn't happen next week. Everybody say hi to Glenn. Actually, it doesn't matter because he can't see you. But I will say hi to Glenn on behalf of all of the chat. Anna says, being from the Pacific Northwest, I'm a gray, rocky type beach girl. I get bored on sand beaches. There needs to be rocks or shells to pick up. What about a sandy beach with a ton of amazing shells, like somewhere like Sanibel in Florida? I'm not necessarily, I don't know if we'll agree on the gray, rocky type beach things, but I can see how you would like it being from the Northwest. My students from Oregon always used to say they felt at home in the UK with UK weather, and I was like, this is insane, it's gray all the time. And they're like, yeah, that's just how it is in Oregon too. Andrew says, rumors of Aldi buying M&S. Aldi, by the way, love Aldi, but love it even more when we went to the US. So food in the US at grocery stores or supermarkets, which I think I've talked about, are much more expensive than in the UK. I don't know the reason for this. I haven't researched it, but much more expensive. So when we were in America for 4 months, it was like, well, where do we shop? We were in very expensive places like Los Angeles and New York City. And California has Aldi's in a ton of places. So we ended up shopping in Aldi's in America. And it was basically the same price as Aldi's in the UK, i.e. cheap. But compared to what you would pay at American supermarkets, it was probably like half or a third of the price. So we almost exclusively shopped Aldi when we were in America. Make sure. Glenn, my heart is breaking. Glenn is sending Patreon messages. I don't know how to... Does anybody have any comments on how... Glenn, what if you X out of the live stream and then like pull it up? Does anybody have any suggestions for Glenn on being able to see and participate in the live chat? Aldi and Lidl, they can do some great food in the UK. You'd have to know what to look out for and what's good. Yeah, and it seems like they definitely do what's in season and what's around that area. So like avocados in California, so cheap. Same thing with almonds. So we would go into Aldi and they would just have super cheap avocados because they're grown in California, and almonds and other things that was easier for them to source there. So that was interesting, kind of seeing like what the local favorites and local cheap options were. Okay, so, and I know some of you will be watching this on catch up and not joining us live. Again, I apologize for the delay today and the new link. I think it was because I didn't plug something in, so fully my fault. Anna says sometimes you have to click on live chat to get that to drop down. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I did not see the live chat in Patreon itself. I clicked through to YouTube to see it. Yeah, so Glenn, make sure that you're opening, the YouTube link. You're not just watching it on the screen in Patreon, but you're actually like copying it and opening it in a new window is the suggestions. Because I know Andrew is dying to talk more engineering with you because you guys get each other. Neil says Aldi do better fruit and veg than Tesco. Interesting. We have an Asda near us, which is our go-to. It's the closest. We can walk there, and it's just where we end up. Blah, 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 blah. I say that a lot. Okay, so I know some of you are watching this on catch up as well and not joining us live. So for you, it won't have mattered that this was a little bit delayed tonight, but we are going to do Thursdays at 8 p.m. as our official, as suggested and agreed by all of you. Well, not all, but nobody responded otherwise. It's going to be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. It's going to be 8 o'clock on the Thursdays, okay? It's going to be 8 o'clock every Thursday. And as this community grows and more people join the community, they're going to have to make that work. So you guys have agreed to 8, and you are the core original group. So I care what you think about what I care about what you think. Hold please. I care about what you think the most. Okay, so we've got, so Glenn, I hope you've, let me get over to see if you've said anything else. Okay, Glenn's doing that based on you guys suggesting how he can find the live stream. So I'm hoping Glenn can see the live stream soon. The video of the week that you guys voted on, I believe, is still in a tie on whether you wanted to see UK versus US sports or UK versus US wildlife. I will double check on that. But if there's a tie, then I'll choose. If one wins, then I'll do that. And that one will come out this weekend. And then we'll try to be more regular about the videos that you guys can vote on. Today I did my reacting to comments videos because, quite honestly, they're a little entertaining, and also sometimes it's easier to do something like that because I want to make sure that I'm putting the correct amount of research and effort into my more, how would you describe them, like hard-hitting videos. So, you know, like my UK versus US Christmas video, if you saw that one, like I did some proper research, and I want to make sure I'm doing that for other videos. Andrew says dead cats do better veg than Tesco. Yeah, I'm not a Tesco person. If I had to choose somewhere besides Asda, I would probably go Sainsbury's every time. Though I used to shop at Morrison's because there was a Morrison's closest to us, but my original UK supermarket love is Sainsbury's because of the soft cookies. So the chocolate chip cookies that are in like that plastic tray and are quite, like maybe like that big. So good, delicious. Let's see. Haven't heard any more from Glenn. Okay, Dave, did you make it? Earth to Dave. Dave, I feel like I'm doing roll call here. Now I've lost the live chat stream too. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Right. I had a topic for this video, but I completely derailed it. So, UK destinations for weird architecture. I've heard of this place, but I've never said it out loud. Portmeirion? It kind of looks like Portmeirion, Wales. Make sure you watch The Prisoner first. I've seen pictures, I have not been there, but I would definitely like to go. I would put forth my most beautiful place in the UK as... Okay. So I'm torn between just Cornwall in general, particularly the Lizard Peninsula. I felt like I was on a tropical island, which I know now will not appeal to Andrew, but my favorite, I guess, inland and not coastal UK destination, well, it has to do with water too, but it's inland, is Loch Katrine in the Trossachs in Scotland. We went to the Trossachs for the first time last year when we went up to a town called Crieff in Perthshire. Does anyone know Crieff? There's like a, as you would say here, leisure, as I would say, leisure resort called Crieff Hydro that my husband's family has been going to forever, and we just adopted the tradition. And we thought this time, instead of staying just at the resort, we would go and explore, and we went to the Trossachs, and it was beautiful. In particular, Loch Katrine, which is a lake, a loch in Scotland, but it's a lake for anybody who is from elsewhere, and it is seriously beautiful, particularly in the sun. I just loved it, would highly recommend it, and would like to go back. Neil says, my favorite wildlife in the UK are otters. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that many otters. Dolphins and orcas come in close at the right time of the year up here. I would love to see dolphins. Dave has joined. Everybody, Dave is in the chat. I'm very sorry, Dave, because my fault. Everybody, please welcome Dave. He has persisted. 10 out of 10. Thank you for joining us. I am sorry. Port Marion-ish. Okay. The Puget Sound, we have lots of orcas here, Anna says. Anna, fun fact, I almost went to, is it the University of Puget Sound or Puget Sound University? Because I was looking up the furthest place I could go from Orlando at the time. I didn't end up going there, which is probably for the best for my seasonal depression. Dave, what's going on? Update us. Tell us. I'm very sorry again. Andrew says the Lake District. Absolutely love the Lake District as well. We prefer Ullswater. Anybody been to Ullswater? We went paddleboarding in Ullswater, which I think I included in a YouTube video, so you may have seen footage of it. I was expecting paddleboarding to be like, you stand up on this very stable board, and you're kind of like on a gondola, and you're just like, oh, look at me, paddleboarding down the waterways. Paddleboarding in the Lake District, even though it was the summer, was no joke. There is a current in the lake. Genuinely thought we were going to drown, constantly being toppled over, maybe stood up out of the 2 hours for like 2 minutes, basically spent the whole time fighting this current on the board, and I was like, it was fun, but definitely we thought it would be a little bit easier. University of Puget Sound, Anna says, my dad went there. I know nothing about it except that it was on my list, and then I realized that it'd be stupid to just pick somewhere because it was far away. Is it Wastwater in the Lake District? I have been to the Lake District quite a lot, and I have not heard of that. We typically go Ullswater, but we've also done other various things, so we'll have to check that out. Otters can be found in a nature reserve near here. I particularly like a British badger, which are much friendlier look. They're not actually friendly. I think they're like, you should stay away. But an American badger looks very terrifying, and a British badger looks really cute and cuddly, even though they're not. Loch Lomond is seriously beautiful. Yes, I've been to Loch Lomond, and it is amazing. I would move to Scotland if it weren't for the fact that we don't know anybody there. And also, I mean, we know you now, Neil, but we don't have like a network of anybody there, and also I'm not sure I could deal with the weather. But funnily enough, it's warmer there now than here in Southeast England. So maybe that's on the cards. Anna says, British badgers are way cuter. Yeah, that's going to be part of my UK versus US wildlife video. When we were in America, this is unrelated to them being cuter, but the differences in wildlife are hilarious. We genuinely saw a giant black bear walking across the street in Lake Tahoe, and local residents didn't care because the bears are used to living amongst the people, and there was some runner who was coming by, and we're like, oh, like, we just saw a bear, and they're like, yeah, they're probably gonna run away from me, and it was amazing. So we saw a black bear, we saw, was it humpback whales we saw on the Santa Barbara Channel Islands out near there. We saw like a megapod of dolphins. There are wild turkeys walking around in America that you don't get here, particularly in Florida. I'm used to lots of different wildlife, spotting gators, different snakes. So yeah, that would be an interesting video to do. Robins are very different too, says Anna. Interesting. I did not know that. How are robins different? Andrew says, American badgers look like they're getting a shiv out to mug you for the money. Yeah, they do. They look like criminals, don't they? American badgers look like criminals. You heard it here. Anna says, black bears, mad. They mostly just want to eat our garbage. I had to learn how to use the bear-proof specific garbage cans, which are clearly made so that humans like myself can't get into them at like 5 in the morning when we were packing up the car, and I was trying to figure out how to get into the recycling bin that was bear-proof. So I think mostly it was just preventing me from doing anything, not really the bear. And badgers are also known, says Damien, as Brock in Old English. Interesting! I did not know that. There's so many language differences I want to cover and research, so many videos I want to do. I'm just now starting to feel settled back in the UK. Obviously we had Christmas and the holidays. Our Christmas stuff is still up. It's so we need to take that down this weekend. So I'm trying to kind of get into the flow of things and have my videos go out more consistently on YouTube and just dig in. I want to really do some, like I was saying earlier, some researched topics, because I don't necessarily like making a YouTube video where I say stuff but then I don't know the reason for stuff, or kind of say like, well, I think the UK does it better than America, but like nobody necessarily cares what I think. I would much rather research topics and kind of not present them in a boring way, but just have a lot more background in what I'm talking about. So that will take a little bit longer to do those videos, but that's kind of my plan in terms of what I'm doing. I really enjoyed doing the Christmas ones where I did a lot more research. Dave says, the last time I went to the US was over 30 years ago, but I still have $50 in my wallet. That is an impressively long amount of time to carry around $50. Do you have any plans, Dave, on going back to the US and spending this money, or should you take it to the nearest money exchange place and get your pounds? Andrew said, robins in the UK are solitary but will follow gardeners around, hoping to find a worm in the ground they dig. But English robins will fight each other to death for territory. Interesting. We had some blue tits in our kitchen extractor fan that doesn't work, so that could have been a massacre. But they just nested in there all last spring, and it was so cute. And then they flew the nest, and we watched them fly the nest. And then I watched a larger bird eat one of the smaller birds flying away. And that was my planet Earth experience. Heartbreaking. Anna says, my Christmas stuff is still up too. It must come down, but Scott's been too busy to get the boxes down for me. Yeah, I feel like we're starting this weekend. We definitely are like, oh, we should probably end this, but nobody likes going up in the attic, or loft as it's called here in the UK. Though Neil says yesterday was the old New Year, so no problem with decorations. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll leave them up all of January. Our real tree this year, which you might have seen in my Christmas videos, it's lasted. It hasn't died. We got it on December 15th. Almost January 15th. It hasn't dropped maybe like 3 needles the whole time. We've kept it topped up with water. It's lasted. I will never get a fake tree again. Anna says, our town is known for crows. Look up Bothell Crows on YouTube. Damien says, traditionally we take down the decorations on the 6th, the Epiphany, but my parish priest says Candlemas, which is the 2nd of February. We've got I should put some stuff back up. That's really interesting. Typically, I think 6th of Jan is more when we would take them down. But I love Christmas decorations, so having permission till the 2nd of February is a great thing. And my birthday's on the 12th, so it's like Christmas, then my birthday, and then winter's over, almost, and then we're happy. Okay, I'm just enjoying the smell of this candle. Whoa, breathing on it. Because despite the frantic start to this video, and maybe the frantic way I'm talking, I would like this to be a relaxing time to catch up with friends. Neil leaves his Christmas decorations up until at least Burns night. Anna says she's got a new excuse to be lazy. We're all going. If you still got your decorations up, 2nd of February, we'll go with that. What is everyone up to this weekend? Anything interesting? Anything exciting? I realized that I did not tell you about our Back to the Future, the musical experience. If anybody is a Back to the Future fan, it's on in London as a musical, and it is not bad. The set, the effects are actually really amazing. Is it necessarily like an emotional piece of touching drama? No, it's Back to the Future, the musical. But it was a very fun night in London. Dave says he has Oh, okay. Dave says he has no plans to go back at the moment to the U.S. and he only has the JFK silver $50. Okay, got it. So you weren't saying you have $50 because I was like, Dave, that is a lot of money that you could be using to spend on something in the UK, but maybe you just loved America so much you were like, I'm gonna keep this $50. Um, but it's a half dollar, 50 cent. You have a silver $50 JFK. That makes more sense. You should definitely keep carrying that around. That makes a lot more sense. Um, Andrew Day don't do Christmas decorations. Um, it's interesting. I would also like to do more. Someone was mentioning Burns Night and other things. I would like to do more videos slash getting involved in holidays that take place in the UK that don't in the US, in particular Fireworks Night. So Fireworks Night, which I think most of you will know. Anna, maybe you're familiar, I'm not sure, but 5th of November, so a ways away. A bonfire night as well. It's called like the same thing, and there's giant bonfires and there's fireworks, and it's very cozy, but we don't do it in the US, obviously, because when I do a video on it, it doesn't actually relate to anything in the US. Much like the UK doesn't celebrate 4th of July or Thanksgiving, which people usually ask me. But I would like to experience more things in the UK. I feel like the saint days, like St. George's Day and stuff, people don't do as much for here as maybe they do it in different regions in England. But I know in England, St. George's Day, which is, what is it, like April 20 something, I don't really usually see that much. This weekend we might be taking a pair of wellies. I feel like saying stuff out loud just makes you realize how much I've only ever seen written and not said out loud. Is it Eli? Are you going to a place called Eli? Or are you going to a place called... It looks like Eli to me. It's not Ellie, is it? Eli? Please report back. Having lunch in a pub there. That sounds amazing. I feel like it's the right time of year for lunch in a pub, which is basically all times of year. Eli, or Ellie, or however you say it, Cathedral, is also very striking. If you go there, look closely at the stained glass windows. Okay, Glenn! Glenn, you're in! Glenn, you have made it! Burns Night is fun. Oh, Glenn. Phew! I'm so glad you made it. Okay, so yes, I want to explore more of the UK, not just going into London all the time, Andrew, so I appreciate that recommendation. Anna says, it might be sunny here this weekend. It's a 3-day weekend, Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Somebody said 3-day weekends in America, and I completely could not figure out off the top of my head what holiday was on Monday. Hope to go out and enjoy the sun. Hope you do too. It's actually been sunny here today, so that's nice. Steam train ride in 2022, says Dave. Okay. Andrew says Ely. Am I saying it correctly now? Yes, post a link. So Ely. Not Eli, not Ellie, Ely. Okay. Anna says Glenn, we love it. Damien says bonfire night for Catholics is a celebration of attempting to bring down Parliament. Church of England, a celebration of the failure. Yes, that makes sense. We got married in a Church of England church, which I think I mentioned last time, which was from like 1200. And it's very interesting seeing the Church of England differences to like how like religion in the UK versus US could be a whole video, a whole topic. Ely. Okay, so Andrew's suggesting go to Ely and see the cathedral. There's so many places that I haven't seen because I've stuck to I had a full-time job working in London, commuting 4 hours a day until the pandemic. Pandemic hits, you're like, well, we're gonna go some places later on, but we're mostly confined to our house. So I haven't really had the freedom to explore and see as much as I want. But now that I am in the position where I can do that, that's definitely on the cards, and would highly appreciate anybody else chiming in on their favorite places or most beautiful destinations, as I made the title of this live stream, in anywhere in the UK. I've also been to North Wales, and I thought that was really beautiful as well, particularly North Coastal Wales. I can't remember the exact places that we went. I know we stayed in Aberystwyth overnight, and I saw like a nice sunset there, but I think the places around, like within like a day's trip distance from Aberystwyth, were really stunning. They've got a lot of beauty out there. Okay, to help remember, Ely is in an area where there are lots of eels. It's so funny, of all the things, I genuinely thought it was going to be Eli or Ellie and did not think Ely. So I will never forget. Glenn says Ely is really special. I agree. Why do you think Ely is really special, Glenn? Do you have any ties to it? Have you been there a lot? I've never even heard of this. I swear I've lived here 10 years. And I'm looking it up on a map. Oh, it's in... Is it near Cambridge? Yeah, okay. Near Cambridge. Gotcha. I went to Cambridge for the first time during lockdown. Loved Cambridge. We live closer to Oxford right now. I mean, I've been to Oxford a lot more, but I would say I might prefer Cambridge. Neil says, loved going to North Wales when we lived in Chester. Yeah, Chester was the one English stop on this tour we went on. And Chester was really nice and really beautiful, but North Wales in particular. Before they drained the fens a few hundred years ago, Ely was literally an island. Andrew, is there any fun fact that you do not know? Because I feel like you've got all the info, and probably I should just consult you on all of my questions before taking it to YouTube. You are such a wealth of knowledge. It's really cool. North of Cambridge. Okay. That's on my list then. I will go. I'll make a video. Neil, yeah. That's amazing. So check out the cathedral. And it is a shame, like, as Anna was saying, they're going to be spending most of the time in London, which I love London. Girl Gone London. Most of my life in the UK has been based out of London. But it is sad that particularly American visitors don't necessarily go and see other places. So I'm hoping with my group trips that I'll be able to plan like the best of England or the best of Wales, like partnering with tour companies, and just kind of framing it as a chance for people to go and see these other places, because I think in general Americans coming here are rightfully scared of driving and renting a car, learning what the heck a roundabout is, and UK traffic laws, and just driving on the other side of the road, I think freaks people out a lot. And obviously the UK is very well connected with public transportation, but there's a lot of stuff that you can't see unless you're on the road, or it's going to take you hours and hours on the bus. So I'm hoping to put together trips that will kind of fill that need for people. Andrew says Hadrian's Wall. Yes, I love Hadrian's Wall. I have been to Hadrian's Wall, but not extensively. I think we just stopped by there. Okay, so we're about 3 minutes from 9, and I did say that you could plan this in your schedules, and I'm not going to overrun, so you would know you're not missing out on anything, and that you will join me for an hour every Thursday at 8. I promise next week I will make sure to have the correct things plugged in. So I apologize to anybody who had issues today. I appreciate your patience. I know I've apologized a million times, but I'm British now, and that's what we do. Neil says, of course I'm coming to Scotland in September. Yes, I should be, Neil. Very excited. Anna says, I was really hoping to get to Yorkshire, but that's for another trip. Yeah, I saw some people give you some feedback in the group about York being quite far for a day trip. Andrew says, have you done the Magic Roundabout in Hemel Hempstead or Swindon? I only knew of the one in Swindon. I didn't know there was one in Hemel. So no, I haven't done it, but I'm probably going to buy a car pretty soon to get me back on the road here. So maybe that will be I'll do like a GoPro video of me doing it. I will not be filming while I'm driving, don't worry. But yeah. So thank you guys for joining. To Glenn, to Brian, to Andrew, to Neil, to Anna, to Damien, to Dave. Have I missed anybody who's able to join us live? I don't think so. To those of you who were not able to join us live today, starting to learn your names and who's who. I know we're missing Arthur. Maybe you're on a run again. I don't know. But we'll be here every week at 8 o'clock on Thursdays. And we'll see what's in store next week. But I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Anna says, we have to figure out what part of my itinerary you want to be a part of, Kaylin. Anything that anything. I will come and meet you there. What kind of Girl Scout cookies do you need? They come out soon. We'll talk all about Girl Scout cookies next week, everybody. Peanut butter patties are definitely my faves. Damien says, I'm planning a tour of Fleet Street to my son's girlfriend's sister when the weather is warmer. You are all invited. I have done this before. This is my patch. Damien, would love to. Let us know. Absolutely. Andrew, congratulations on the things you figured out with work. Sorry your pharmacist boss is being annoying. Thank you guys all again. I will hang up now, but I'm having so much fun and we got started late, so I'll just sit here with my candle for a couple more minutes as you sign off. I feel like there was one thing I was going to tell you. Told you about the time. Thursdays at 8. Next week, same time, same place. Look out this weekend for video, whether it's going to be on sports or wildlife, UK versus US, I don't know. I'll look to see which one has won. And yeah, I think that's it. So have a great week. We'll catch up in the Patreon group. Take care. See you next week. Okay, I actually will hang up, Anna. I'll sing you all out, okay? Have a good night. You are the best. See you later. Okay, this is like the scene from Elf where he's singing. Okay, bye everybody. See you next week.